Wish the doors would open up, however, Fiorella, for the people in Honduras, because
Absolutely.
Last week was not just the 10-year anniversary of the Michael Jackson passing away. It was also the 10-year anniversary of the coup in Honduras that was kind of like swept under the rug.
Absolutely.
There was a lot of fugaziness, and it's really a hot topic right now, Fiorella. Fugaziness. It's really a hot topic because regime change is big, and we've been yelling and screaming at the TV screen during the debates to have somebody like Marianne Williamson connect the immigration problem to the foreign policy problem. And Fiorella, you have such an insight to this because you went down to the border. By the way, congratulations to Brazil. Unfortunately, Peru, they finished second. Good. Second place is not bad.
Let's just congratulate the women's soccer team.
U.S. soccer team as well.
Who was absolutely amazing. And also the women's soccer team for the U.S. is always so much better and has always been so much better than the male soccer team.
I know. You couldn't wait to talk about that.
I know. I just couldn't wait to mention it.
It's Sunday Fun Day.
It's really nice.
Let's talk about the southern border where the people from Honduras are coming in droves.
Yes.
And you've talked to these people, Fiorella, and you've said, a lot of people have said they understand what happened to them. They understand that the coup was backed by the United States. And there was a lot of fugaziness when it was going on. There was a lot of mixed signals. In fact, I got into an argument with somebody the other day who was saying that Obama did not support the coup. And you can see there's a little headline over there. It says Obama says the coup in Honduras was illegal.
Okay. That's what he's saying.
But yeah, that's what he's saying. This is what he said then. This article has been circulating since people have been kind of pointing the finger. Obama let this happen. This is another example, and it is also one of the big causes for our foreign policy. From immigration through our foreign policy. Now, I want us to get up to date. I found this video on Al Jazeera. It's a little 2-minute video. It doesn't have enough views, but take a look at it so you get caught up to date on what's going on in Honduras.
We all know how keen, hawkish Hillary Clinton is on regime change in the Middle East, in Iraq, Libya, Syria. What often gets forgotten, however, is what she did in Honduras. The fact that Honduras was a democracy didn't stop then Secretary of State Clinton backing regime change even there, back in 2009. She threw her support behind the coup that ousted democratically elected Honduran President Manuela Zelaya, who was flown out of the country in his pajamas. While the UN, the EU, and the OAS were calling for Zelaya to be immediately reinstated, Clinton was, in her own words, to quote her 2014 memoir Hard Choices, strategizing a plan to restore order in Honduras and ensure that free and fair elections could be held quickly and legitimately, which would render the question of Zelaya moot. A pretty damning admission. Which is probably why she removed it from the paperback edition of her memoir that came out a year later. To make things worse, to this day, Clinton insists, against all evidence, that Honduran institutions followed the law in removing President Zelaya and refuses to call a coup a coup.
Our assessment was we should slow walk and try to stop anything that the government could take advantage of without calling it a coup.
That wasn't the assessment of our own US ambassador on the ground in Honduras at the time, who wrote in an official memo, "There is no doubt that the military, Supreme Court, and National Congress conspired on June 28th in what constituted an illegal and unconstitutional coup." That memo of his includes the word coup a mere 12 times. Maybe Clinton just lost it in all her other emails. But here's the worst part. Earlier this year, Clinton actually congratulated herself on how events in Honduras turned out.
We managed a very difficult situation without bloodshed.
Put aside for a moment that the people of Honduras might not want the US managing situations in their country. To say with a straight face that the whole thing happened without bloodshed is astonishing, given the UN says the murder rate in Honduras went up by almost 50% after the coup, with the return of death squads, ongoing violence, and soldiers accused of murder and torture. Berta Cáceres, the famous Honduran human rights activist who singled out Hillary Clinton for backing the Honduran coup, warned in 2013 that the army has an assassination list of 18 wanted human rights fighters with my name at the top. When they want to kill me, they will do it. In March of this year, Cáceres was shot dead inside her own home. I guess it isn't surprising, is it, that Henry Kissinger and Hillary Clinton are such good friends.
Okay.
Fiorella.
That's not a conspiracy theory.
No. She died.
Everybody knows that this woman was shot and she was assassinated.
Totally.
It's really, like, again, I'm repeating that because a lot of people like to say that's a conspiracy theory. Obama isn't as bad. And, you know, they want to give Obama like off the hook.
Yeah,
and
free pass.
I continuously see it. And I don't bring up Obama. We don't bring up Obama to necessarily compare him to Trump. It's so you all understand that any blue will not do. That if we continue electing neoliberals and neocons, they're going to continue doing the same exact thing if they are pro-war, and which they are. All of these people are pro-war, and it's not going to solve our immigration problem. It's also going to continue killing people abroad.
Yeah,
so.
and you talk about Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard, Mike Gravel, Marianne Williamson now in that list. The other ones, you have to keep the eye on them because, you know, those people that we just talked about are anti-war, they're anti-regime change. And isn't it so crazy that the coup went through, they removed him, and we're talking about a socialistic leader, because when we get into this interview right now of Manuela Zelaya today, the Greystone did this amazing interview. Amazing. And we're going to kind of dissect some parts of it. But isn't it crazy, Fiorella, the way Obama said it was illegal, but then Hillary Clinton said it was legal? And then the lady who singled Hillary Clinton out just goes missing, goes, you know, dies. So you wonder why people always question the Seth Rich thing. And, you know, the Washington Post did this big article why it's a conspiracy theory. And once again, I'm not saying it's true or it's not, but you should always question the government.
100%.
Because they're going to lie to you no matter what. And next Sunday, we'll have Gabriel Ramirez on the show here in the studio. Gabriel Ramirez is a delegate, a young political activist. He's awesome. He says he's going to bring us maybe some pan dulce. And Valerie Flanagan, who's in pan dulce.
Pan dulce?
Pan dulce. Okay. Gabriel Ramirez, we love you. We expect some pan dulce. Nico Dangood put hashtag Seth Rich. And Valerie Flanagan, you probably like my guest tomorrow. I will be interviewing Tim Canova to talk about some election integrity around 3:30 our time, 6:30 Eastern. So if you're around, jump on in and join the couch, fam. Let's get back to Honduras because, like I said, Fiorella talked to a lot of these people. We did a show. We showed some of the footage, the voice. We have the infamous kids hugging you guys, the kid from Honduras. Just a serious problem. You can see the death squads went up. The murder rate went up. It became like Fort Knox. We did another show, Fiorella, where we talked about Israel having a 10-year weapon deal. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about Honduras today. Mm-hmm. So why don't we get to Manuela Zelaya, and they're going to ask him right off the bat. This is a great interview. And we're going to connect some dots here for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for your time, Mr. President. It's been 10 years since you were removed in a U.S.-backed coup from your position as the democratically elected president of Honduras. What has the United States accomplished here since then? What has changed in your country?
Bueno, la ruptura de un pacto social que le denominamos nosotros Constitución de la República es la Constitución del Estado. Cuando se rompe el pacto social, por lógica viene lo que se conoce como la ley del más fuerte. Crímenes, asesinatos, tortura, siempre del lado ganador contra la oposición. Eso ha sido un sacrificio para el pueblo hondureño porque el lado que tomó el poder ha tenido el apoyo de Estados Unidos. Estados Unidos es el mayor beneficiado del golpe de Estado. Y hay un principio en derecho penal que dice que el beneficiado de un crimen es el principal sospechoso. ¿Cómo ha sido beneficiado? Bueno, Estados Unidos tiene un control casi absoluto sobre Honduras. Controla la justicia.
So, Fiorella, who benefited most from the coup in Honduras?
The United States.
The United States.
Absolutely.
Corporations, arms deals, weapons. He talks about it. You know, the coup takes over. The murder rate shoots up. Now they're buying weapons left and right. They have a 10-year deal with Israel. Okay, who owns all the fruit? Who owns all the bananas? The consumption of bananas in North America. All you people who buy those bananas, I haven't eaten a banana in almost a year and a half now, but all those bananas you see, where do you think they come from? The people of Honduras are not reaping the benefit from those resources, Fiorella. United States corporations are.
Yeah, Exactly.
And it's all connected too. I have this article from the LA Times because Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, they did this dance, they did this toe tap, and that's illegal, but we're not going to do anything about it. We're going to call for elections, making the point of Zelaya moot. But look at this coup with connections, and it talks about it. Let me bring it up real quick. Sorry. So I can read it real quick. But if you see right here, meet Lanny Davis, the second paragraph. Washington lawyer and lobbyist, former legal counsel to the President Clinton, and avid campaigner for Hillary Rodham Clinton's presidential bid. He has been hired by the coalition of Latin American business interests to represent the dictatorship that ousted elected President Manuela Zelaya of Honduras, a military coup, and removed him to Costa Rica on June 28th. So here we got a big Clinton lobbyist coming in, Fiorella. Notice I'm saying Fiorella, not fam so much. I'm on my game.
Now you're saying Fiorella too much.
And now I got to say fam. We have a big Hillary Clinton lobbyist coming in to represent the coup, to represent the business interests on the other side. Now, I also want you to understand something else, Fiorella. You know who Lanny Davis is? You know who Lanny Davis represents today? Lanny Davis happens to be Michael Cohen's lawyer. So you see how it's all connected. George Carlin, it's a big club, and you ain't in it. So they're all watching each other's back. So here is Manuela Zelaya again, talks about the U.S. having complete control of Honduras now. Not the people of Honduras who they elected, but the U.S.
And before you play that, I just want to say that this is exactly what they were trying to do in Venezuela. If it sounds familiar, it's because it was.
They were able to pull it off in Honduras.
Yeah.
Es el principal sospechoso. ¿Cómo ha sido beneficiado? Bueno, Estados Unidos tiene un control casi absoluto sobre Honduras. Controla la justicia a través de la OEA. Controla la seguridad a través del Comando Sur. Controla la economía a través del Fondo Monetario Internacional, Banco Mundial y BID.
Oops.
Oh, there it is. Phone's down. So, fam, it shows who has complete control by design, just like they want to do in Venezuela. You know why? They want to take over the oil reserves. They want that oil. They want to give it to the Koch brothers, business interest-wise. It's a resource extraction. Plus, they want to be able to sell their weapons. They want to arm these people to the T to keep the migrants in. That's why Donald Trump, gave them a weapons deal as well. Okay, it's to keep the migrants in. Now, if you look right here, we have this right now. I want to connect the dots because if you're a Trump supporter and you're for, what's the word, immigration control? I want to use the right wording. But if you're a Donald Trump supporter, you don't want migrants coming in. Remember, you build the wall. You want to control the population coming in the United States. This is the number one cause. Now, watch how Manuela Zelaya connects the people coming in the caravans to the United States. Very simple.
Entregan todo a los norteamericanos.
What has been the impact on the average Honduran throughout these years?
Subió la pobreza. Hay más pobres. Ya sobrepasa casi el 70% de la población en niveles de pobreza. Subió el crimen, subió el narcotráfico. Según un informe del Departamento de Estado, el tráfico de drogas por Honduras después del golpe se incrementó casi al doble. Y dice el informe que Honduras se convirtió en el paraíso del narcotráfico. Subió la deuda externa. Cuando me sacaron a balazos debíamos 3.000 millones. Hoy en 10 años debemos 14.000 millones, o sea, 4 veces más. Entonces, eso constituye en que el país está en serios problemas de falta de crecimiento económico, falta de inversión, violaciones a los derechos humanos. Y yo le pongo una sola prueba. Honduras es el país de las caravanas hacia los Estados Unidos, porque el golpe de Estado convierte a Honduras en un infierno.
So, there it is. Go ahead. You want to say something?
No, I was just going to say that he says it right there. I mean, Honduras is a leading country of the caravans, and he's absolutely right. The majority of the people that are there are from Honduras. So the fact that not only are we putting a lot of them in concentration camps or detention centers is one thing, and the other fact is that we need to recognize the corporate elitist people in our government and the lobbyists and all of these people who benefit from this immigration thing. Because if you think about it, the Blackstone and all of these people who house these migrants, they make so much money off of this.
Yeah.
This is a big money making machine, and that's exactly how it's all connected. All they care about is making money. This isn't about them caring about helping people or trying to bring democracy. This is about making money, as much money as we can, and continuing our imperialist hold over the Latin American nations.
And they do the same thing they do over here. They control the media over there. They control public opinion. They control the IMF, so they control the economy. Like he said in this last statement, when he was taken at gunpoint in his pajamas, $3 billion in debt. Now it's $14 billion. Okay, so pretty much our corporations, our monetizing system, our money system has just taken a stranglehold on Honduras. Now, everybody will say, oh, well, that was Obama and Hillary Clinton. That was Obama and Hillary Clinton. If you're Donald Trump or you're a Trump fan, wouldn't you want him to control the situation? If Donald Trump went in day one and he went to Honduras and he removed that president that had taken over and put Manuela Zelaya back in, he wouldn't have had this crisis. But guess what happens? Look, Trump administration recognizes Honduran president's reelection. Needless to say, Fiorella, the reason why they said they was okay to remove Manuela Zelaya is because he wanted to extend the term limits. And he even said if he does extend the term limits, it's going to be another president that gets it. He will not run for re-election. So they removed him at gunpoint, and then they allowed the next coup leader, the president, to take over. And you can see, amid protest, Honduran president is sworn in for a second term, and guess what? Donald Trump backed him. So Donald Trump is aiding the migration to the United States. And even furthermore, he doubled down by listening to Bolton in Venezuela. So all you people who voted for Donald Trump who want him to control migration, he doesn't have to control it at the border. He has to control it in the country that they're in. But who's really pulling the strings, fam?
Right. The military-industrial complex and these people behind Donald Trump isn't really even pulling the strings.
No.
That's the whole thing. He's not an anti-interventionist president.
No.
He has a chance to be, and he's been better than someone like Hillary Clinton, but at the same time, he's definitely not keeping his promise that he ran on as being anti-interventionist.
Especially with the sanctions, because the sanctions are an act of war. The sanctions make more people come to this country.
Yep.
The sanctions are what drive people here. It's the core reason why people are driven here. But I also want you to understand something, ladies and gentlemen, in my personal opinion, that it's not just about resource extraction. It's not just about using the IMF to control the economy. It's not just about selling them guns. It's also about not allowing the United States people and its citizens to see a socialistic government in place.
Yep.
And I want you to take a look at this last piece I have from this video. We're going to skip ahead, and it's so beautiful the way Zelaya explains why he became a democratic socialist. A democratic socialist. Check it out. It's beautiful.
I would like to talk about your personal political development, because when you were elected, you were considered part of a more center-left party and movement, and now you are speaking about socialism. Why did you change, and how would you characterize yourself now?
Centro-derecha. Centro-derecha. Es una evolución porque la derecha está agotada. Se sostiene con armas, con golpes, con fraudes, con engaños. El futuro de la humanidad tiene que ser social. Usted es un ser social, usted. Aristóteles dice que nosotros somos seres racionales. El hombre es un animal racional. Pero nosotros consideramos que el ser humano hoy es un ser totalmente social. El hombre y la mujer sin sociedad no puede vivir. Todo lo que pensamos, lo que percibimos de la realidad es en relación a nuestro entorno social. Entonces, ¿para dónde debe de caminar la humanidad? Para el individualismo, para el egoísmo, para el interés particular o el interés social. El interés social. El futuro de la humanidad es socialista. Posiblemente luchemos 10.000 años o más, pero el futuro, si la humanidad no avanzara hacia lo social, viviríamos con la ley del más fuerte en las cavernas. El ser humano está avanzando y avanza hacia lo social. Claro, yo me crié en una filosofía política liberal, pero ahora evolucioné a una política primero liberal prosocialista y ahora socialista democrática.
Wow, fam. He called himself a democratic socialist. That is so awesome. And he talked about the future of humanity, the future of the planet is being social, is buying into family, is buying into community, is buying into helping each other. And, you know, capitalism is barbaric.
Yeah.
Barbaric.